A very big match, guys, in the regular season of WTL Code S. Right now, it is incredibly close at the top of the standings. Obviously, both teams are on course, if not guaranteed, of making playoffs. I think we're pretty much guaranteed at this point. But it doesn't really matter where you finish. So, we've got Basilisk right now in 5th place, but it's incredibly close. If we would win without an ace match, we would literally be 2nd. So... if we win this match without an ace match, we are 2nd. If we win with an ace match, we will be tied with DKZ, and I guess they will have slightly better map score, so we'd be 3rd, but it would obviously be big. That point that they just lost is a big one. Take a look at the two teams, guys. We've got Vitality over here. And next up, it's the boys. Yona. Sorry, my webcam is blocking it. 927, 782 for Reynor. I'm apparently a 486. I'll take that. These are the matches for today. Maru versus Reynor. They have played before. This is a replay match. I've told you guys a couple times. I do not know the outcome. Maru, Reynor, Ryong, Serral, and Showtime versus Solar. You're not playing Roddy? No. We have surprisingly decided not to send out Roddy today. Reynor with 11 gold medals. Man, they go through this so quick. They go through it so damn quick. As we have loaded into it immediately, no player cameras because this match has played a couple of days ago. Bottom left side of Elisione, we took a little look at the main base of Maru. We expect obviously Maru to be in really good shape as we are getting closer and closer to the biggest Starcraft tournament in history, the Esports World Cup. It is starting in literally 24 days. That actually still feels far away if you put it like that. In 24 days, we have the opening day of the biggest Starcraft tournament in history. We? Yeah, absolutely we. Who do you think makes the lineups chosen? Who do you think is in charge here? Who do you think runs this ship? Play a lot of video games in 24 days, Wingant. In 24 days, you may have done what Fionn just did. And that is break into the 5,000 MMR barrier for the very first time. Maru is going to open things up with a supply depot and a double barracks on the low ground. So it's a 2-Rex Reaper opening. Wonder if it's 2-Rex Reaper into triple CC or just 2 CCs. I'll take it from there. Reynor opening up a very standard on his side of the map with a hatch, a pool, and a gas, and we'll take it from there. I believe Reynor is pretty damn good in ZVT at the moment. Obviously, our boy has been playing a lot. Sure, he's had some fun over in Korea and he had a tiny holiday in Croatia, but Reynor obviously is getting serious as he's gearing up for Saudi. He is not quite the reigning defending champ of the Esports World Cup, but he did win Game S8 last year in the same city, in the same country. So, I think it will kind of feel like we have 2 defending champions going to Saudi. We've got Oliveira as the official world champ, and we have Reynor as the Game S8 world, champ. Reaper sneaks into the natural. Reynor should not lose any workers here. Game 1 should always be played on US West. Game 2 will be played on US Central. Now, Reynor played these matches from Italy, so there's definitely ping involved. I don't know when they were played, guys, but I assume it was like Wednesday or Thursday. So they are very, very recent. And it was Vitality, by the way, requesting if we could play this match earlier. It was not us. Reynor would have been able to play today, but Maru apparently was not. The Reapers are taking an adventurous route. Queen's just a little bit too slow off grid to get that final shot off. It is a triple CC opening for Maru. I think from here on out we're going to play a very standard ZVT. I'm curious to see where Reynor is going to take it. I feel like when it comes to Reynor, his ZVT, he's been pretty unpredictable over the last 12 months. He's kind of shown us a lot of different styles. 5 Reapers for Maru, roaming the edge of creep. Reynor really not giving away anything so far. Don't think we've been bleeding out any drones. We've barely lost a creep tumor. So far, so good. One drone might fall here. It's very hard to save it. Nope, not even that. As the Zerglings do have speed, and we're going to get the wraparound on 2 out of the 5 Reapers immediately, and we should be able to get the remaining 2 Reapers as well. Will Maru finally get a drone? Will he finally get a drone? Yes, gets one. 1 drone for 5 Reapers. I think we'll take that. We'll absolutely take that. What a start, guys. So clean by Reynor. Our boy is on point. Maru definitely was active and was looking for freebies, but Reynor was just having none of it. This tech lab is a little bit exposed. Do we want to donate a whole bunch of Zerglings on this tech lab? Yes, if your opponent makes 5 Reapers, you do have to produce some Zerglings, but I think that is okay. Reynor donates one of his overlords deep into the main base. I assume that we saw everything that we needed to see. I'm not certain if we actually saw the 3rd command center, but I think just by looking at everything else that is there and the timing of it, I think Reynor's got a very good idea of what Maru is doing. A 15 worker lead on the side of the Italian Stallion. We're going up to 4 bases. Reynor does not have a lair yet, right? Is it double Evo? I see a single evolution chamber right now working, +1 carapace. No, I never know the outcome. Whenever people play in advance, whether it's Serral, Reynor, Showtime or Trigger, I obviously make sure that it gets arranged accordingly and that everybody's happy with it. But once they play, I always tell them, don't tell me the score. I just want to sit here and I want to be surprised and excited like you guys. The Marines of Maru are going to stim forward as Reynor has now fired up that lair. Queens are holding down the line. We're going to transfuse each other. I definitely think that we are happy with this if we are Reynor so far. It might get a tiny bit scary because of the build that we've chosen. Baning speed is a tiny bit late, but we've got map vision, we've got creep spread, we've got a lot of Zerglings, got a strong economy. 4th base should not get picked off here, so I want to say so far so good here on El Sione. As Maru is going to throw down another scan, he's going to push the creep back a little bit. Reynor with his Zerglings will once more gladly take this fight. Maru knows that he can't take it. Maru could drop 2 Marines to be annoying and kill that drone. Is not going to do that. Instead wants to go for the main base. There is a spore crawl on the edge of the main. Lair is done. I hope that Reynor fires up baning speed immediately. This is one of these upgrades that you really don't want to realize you forget it a minute or 2 from now. So, Campo Chess is asking me how do we decide in WTL which players play who. We answer this question every single week, but that's okay. I don't really mind answering it. So what we do is we send in 3 players blind, but we do send them in an order. The order is important. So the WTL admin is asking me who is playing for Basilisk and in what order. I have this week gone for Reynor 1, Serral 2, Showtime 3. Then somebody from Vitality also sends in their 3 players in that specific order. And then the admin lets us know who's playing who. Because Reynor has a Miss-Rally drone. And then we also know what maps we play on. We don't know that in advance either. So you see players completely blind. And then you just hope that it works out well. Maru is going to siege up a tank near the gold minerals. This is incredibly frustrating for Reynor. We do need to cancel this 5th base. Reynor, it is taking a lot of damage. As we have a big Zergling counterattack through the bottom side of the map. There is no big Gabriel bunker here, so Reynor does get on top of the SCVs. I do like this. We fire up the hive as well. Oh, this is a great run by guys. Vintage Reynor and his Zerglings. Sure, Life did it great a long time ago, but our Italian Stallion is pretty damn good in it too. Baning speed, however, is not done yet. And this many Marines and tanks is annoying. There's still a lot of Queens. Queens can buy time. They can transfuse each other. They can transfuse the hatchery. Both players use some hold position micro on the other side of the map. I think we like this. Obviously, it is important that eventually we clean this up. I think Reynor is just waiting for Baneling speed. Baneling speed is done right now. We're going to go for it. Here come the Lings and Banes from 2 different ramps. We're we're gonna get on top of these tanks. We're gonna get all 4 tanks, I want to say. Absolutely. We'll take it. Reynor is floating a little more than I think. Oh, not actually having mined out those minerals is now a tiny bit annoying. I would really love to see Reynor send a drone or 2 to mine out all those minerals to make it a little bit easier for all the queens to get through that tiny choke point. Yeah, Reynor should start mining those minerals out just to make his life a little bit easier. Because the queens were forced to battle so much, I think Reynor is floating a little more than he would have liked to. But at this point, Hive Tech is done. We can drop an Ultralisk Cavern if we want to. Fire up Adrenal Glands immediately. All of that is good. And Reynor is mining out those minerals. There's a couple Banelings in the mix here. That should be good enough. Absolutely. Oh, can we get a medevac? No. Do we still have that Spore on the edge of the main? Yes, but Maru is going to avoid it. There's a backup Spore though on the top side of our spawning pool. Maru kind of stuck right now. Vipers are on the way. And if these 3 medevacs stay here, guys, then Vipers with Parasitic Bomb or a Duck could be fantastic. Maru knows that, so he's going to boost these units away. Loses one of the 3 medevacs. No Hive Tech yet, but there is our Ultralisk Cavern. Or no Hive Tech units yet. But we do have the Vipers on the way. Vipers are obviously awesome. This is a good fight for Maru as he finds a couple of these Lings and Banes. Reynor with another big run by in the 3rd base of Maru. Maru may have a few more units there, but it's so many Zerglings, guys. And the Widow Mines are actually using some friendly fire as well. I want to say that the Zerglings can win this fight. They absolutely can. Maybe we can get a few more SCVs. So we're going to get more than just a few. We already got 8. Bit of damage on the medevacs too. Feel like Reynor is playing good. He is looking sharp. There is a Widow Mine there that's becoming a bit of an issue. Second time I believe it has fired. And Reynor is morphing 4 Banelings behind these little lines in the dark. Maru is very close to spotting them. Maru finds them. Tiny Widow Mine drop in the top side of the map. Drilling Claws is also done for Maru as Reynor has been relentless with the damn Zergling run-bys. Depot does not get raised. Oh, we're gonna get +2 melee Zerglings in the natural, in the main base with Adrenal Glands. This is devastating for Maru, guys. Maru is terribly out of position. A fantastic run-by by Reynor. Just throughout the entire game they have been sick, but this is obviously the very best one. Because now the Lynx do have Adrenal. They're going to get on top of these Marines and the tanks. We're even going to pick up a tank near the planetary. Our boy is cooking, man. He is losing some drones. I guess to Widow Mine somewhere. But what a run by. Maru has just left the doors open a few too many times. By the way, has it been Reynor with his drones that have mined out those minerals in the bottom side of the map? Or did Maru mine those out? I don't think the observer showed that to us. As we drop a blinding cloud, we're gonna get all damn SCVs. -44 SCVs. Yeah, because Reynor did have that one misrally drone at one point in the center of the map. So I'm pretty certain it was Reynor who at one point snuck some drones to mine out those mineral patches. That's an awesome play. Well, Maru has seen it for a little while right now, but it's obviously still there. This is a sick game by Reynor, who has a couple of burrowed Zerglings. Maru is not done yet, losing SCVs as 3 more will fall. And the supply, as Letot would say, does not lie. We're looking at a maxed out Reynor with a bit of money in the bank. Loses a couple Zerglings to a Widow Mine, but that happens to the best of us. Cool the boys. You're talking about Maru now. SCVs would not do anything for Maru on the other side of the map. That is not quite the fight that Reynor can win yet, but obviously Reynor's going to be very, very happy with how a lot of this has gone. Maru does get another cancel on this base. That is big, but as long as Reynor's got that base at 12 o'clock up and running, we are happy. Oh, some burrowed Banelings on the bridge. I love it. Reynor, after all these years, is on board with the burrowed Baneling as we get some fantastic connections. We drop a couple of parasitic bombs as well, and that is going to do it. The Italian Stallion wins game 1 on Alcyone. And that game, I think, was played on US West as well. So we are absolutely cooking at this point. Maru, however, can pick whatever map he wants, and apparently went for Ghost River. Ghost River is not a pleasant map to play ZVT on. Sick game by Reynor though, holy smokes, he looks so good. Feel like he just looked good in the beginning, in the mid game, in the late game. That looked like a Reynor that is gearing up for a world championship. He was fast, he was active, he was finding value everywhere. Well done.
Round 2, fight!
Top left side of Ghost River. The best map that he could think of on this map pool. It is Vitality Maru. Top right side, we are looking at the main base of our Italian stallion who took the 1-0 lead for us. It is BASILISK Reynor. So Reynor has better ping this game than he had last game. But of course, he is forced to play on Ghost River. And especially Ghost River against Maru is not very pleasant. Serral, however, made it look pretty doable to play against Maru on Ghost River. If I think back of those ESL Masters in Dallas. I think it makes a lot of sense he picks Ghost River. I think Ghost River is really good for Terran. Thank you to Tazata for the 31 months. I appreciate it, mate. I am absolutely well. Isn't Reynor still in Korea? No. Reynor is already back in Europe. He has been for, at this point, like 3 weeks. He's been back in Europe. He did take one tiny holiday to Croatia for a couple of days, but Reynor has been back home since like the beginning of this month. Someone is asking, is there a reason for Showtime to be the stand-in here instead of Trigger? Obviously, we could have gone for both of them, but Showtime has been fantastic lately, guys. He really is a man on fire ever since that Home Surrey Cup final, the performance in the Esports World Cup qualifier. He has looked good in everything he's done. And Trigger obviously is in Korea right now as well, and I think he's playing more Starcraft again. But Trigger was also playing a lot of different video games for a bit, especially Battle Aces is a game that Trigger went really hard on. So, decided to go for Showtime this week, but obviously there's a very good chance you guys will see Trigger next week. Thank you, Kazuki Swift, for the 4 months. I appreciate it, matey. And the kind words. Those perhaps mean even more to me. One of the things that makes Ghost River an incredibly unpleasant Zerg map, guys, is that this is not a scenario where if the Terran is blocking your third, you're like, ah, I'll just take it elsewhere and we take the game from there. There is no other third base. There's only one base that Reynor can take, and that is the triangle. But if Maru sends an SCV early, and he's gonna block it, then the Reaper is gonna prevent the drones from ever making it over. There are 2 Zerglings of Reynor sneaking to the other side of the map. But this is something that Maru can absolutely deal with. Nice micro as well on the side of our Korean. Yeah. Whenever I look at Ghost River, I always wonder, like, what would I like to see the Zerg player do? Then I think back of that fantastic game that we had in Atlanta. No, wait. Well, in Dallas, sorry. Between Serral and Oliveira. Where Serral just stayed on 2-2 Lingbane forever. And you're really not supposed to win games like that. But if there is one man who can show us that it doesn't really matter what we think or say about StarCraft, he's gonna prove us wrong. It is Serral. He also played this map against Maru, and he played it very different. Just kind of went up for quick hive, got some ultras out, had a couple vipers, and he just kind of steamrolled Maru. After that game, I had the feeling that we were going to look at a very one-sided grand final. When Serral took the 1-0 lead, I was like, okay, awesome, but that's just the 1-0 lead. But when he won on Ghost River the way he did, I was like, yeah, that's gonna go Jonas' way. Reaper in the main base of Maru trying to be annoying, but Reynor on point, not giving away anything for free. So the third base is now up. We've got a Roach one on the side of Reynor. First game, Lingbane double evo with a quick hive, some vipers. In game 2, we're gonna play Roaches. This game was played, yes, Arctic, a couple days ago. I've said it quite a few times. Said it yesterday, said it the day before. I don't know the score, of course, but the game has already been played. The next set of games, Serral's game is live, Showtime's game is live. This game was played earlier on the request by Vitality. Which does mean that if this would theoretically go to an ace match, I don't think that Maru would be available. This would be kind of weird, right? If Maru was not able to play these games live, but then he would be here for an ace match. I mean, there's always a chance that maybe he had like one important appointment right at 2 p.m. or whatever, and that he's somehow back in time, but gives me the feeling that Maru is not available for an ace match today. I don't know if they would have used Maru anyway. Maru does not have the best track record against Iona. Yeah, exactly. I'm Trendle. That is correct. Reynor fires up a lot of roaches with Overlord speed as well. Relatively early Overlord speed. If he keeps on building roaches here at this point, guys, I have the feeling that our boy is going to absolutely send it. I feel like you're trolling me right now, Dini. That is a good troll, mate. And out of the goodness of my heart, I was almost ready to answer all of it, but I'm like, no. Yeah. I picked up on it. Right before I started, I was like, ah. No, not falling for that. Reynor still just building roaches, no Evo chamber, no extra drones. He has plenty of units to deal with these two Marines. Maru needs to start worrying about what Reynor is going to throw at his side of the map, guys, because we are going for it. Roaches, Ravagers, we have a Dropper Lord maybe in the mix as well, yep, with a couple of Queens. And Maru is immediately evacuating the third base, which is a smart decision. How many tanks do we have? One tank. It is very well positioned. What do you do here if you're Reynor, guys? You kind of have to go for... He fires up 5 drones. So he might just try to spread a lot of creep and basically contain. It's a little bit of the Elaser, right? Isn't this like a tiny bit... it's different, but it reminds me a little bit of how Miko was playing for a little bit against Terrence. And he couldn't quite get it to work, but... I don't think that Reynor is going to break Maru here. What he will be able to do, though, is obviously drone up on his side of the map, spread a lot of creep, give himself a crazy amount of vision, and just make this a very annoying game for Maru. You definitely need to do a lot, but sometimes you can do a lot by not doing much at all, and just causing a lot of indirect damage. Reynor sees these 4 Hellions too. This is such an important scout, guys. Because obviously if Reynor is containing Maru here, but then 4 Hellions kill 20 drones on the other side of the map, we're still in trouble. I think Maru will just slowly but steady start moving the tanks forward, or he goes for more drops. We are going to throw down a single scan. That means that the Overseer is going to get picked off almost all the creep tumors, but not quite all of them. This second scan, that's a really good scan by Maru, as he now gets every single creep tumor. That's pretty big. If he would have waited a little bit longer, then 2 scans won't cut it anymore. And then that creep is just around forever. Reynor does drop the Queens one more time with his little Dropper Lord. Oh, I love it. That's gonna be so annoying for Maru. Incredibly smart play. Does Maru see it though? Honest question, who do you have as a head? I think it's a competitive game. Like, the supply heavily favors Reynor, but I think the supply does lie here. We're looking at 1-1 bio against 0-0 roaches. Maru has tanks. I think it's still a competitive game. I think Reynor is somewhat happy, but I don't think we can quite be Omega happy yet. Because it still goes river. We are still stuck on a lot of unupgraded roaches and Ravagers. Like, once Hive is done and we fire up a couple Vipers and maybe we can land on Abduct. It obviously looks promising for Reynor. But you can, looking at the supply and thinking that this game is in the bag, I think is wrong. I do think it looks promising for Reynor though. I think where maybe Maru messed up a tiny bit is that he obviously saw this rather late. And that none of his pokes, like that little drop on the right side of the map, the Hellion drop, they didn't really find any damage. There is a way for Maru to be more ready for this. Have the tanks out a little bit further, have bunkers ready immediately. But like, I don't think that Maru did that much wrong to say that like, oh, he's in so much trouble now. I think it is a competitive video game. Reynor is gonna drop an Ultralisk Cavern, and he is working with 80 drones. That's obviously good, but Maru can spam Muse for days. If I was Maru, what I would do is start working on wall-offs. Couple depots here, couple, even a random eBay block or a random bunker at the third. Am I going to Riyadh, Roddy? Roddy's going to Riyadh, baby. If my boy is gonna lift another trophy in the desert, I have to be there. I'd say it's one of the most fun moments of my Starcraft 2 life. Seeing Reynor win it all, supporting him in his journey, being a part of the celebrations. Of course, I wouldn't want to miss it. A couple of fungos are going to connect here on the bio units as Maru has a monstrous army with 2-2 bio on the other side of the map. Reynor does still have some roaches that are going to look for a counterattack, and we are right now counting down the seconds for Ultras. But Ultras without kindness plating are still a little iffy. They are a little bit iffy as the fungo growth does connect. The fungos just tickles bio units. What are the roaches doing of Reynor? They're just picking up the reinforcements, right? 6 Ultras on the way, guys. But without kindness, they die so quick. They die so quick without kindness plating. As you guys can see, one Ultra is actually dropping a little bit there. Roaches are now going to turn around. They pick off one of the tanks, but losing the third and this Terran army still being here is problematic. Tanks crawling forward. Reynor counting down the seconds to kindness plating, but at this point there's still so much Terran here. As the buildings will get picked off. Does Reynor have enough to one time and one time only get on top of all these units of Maru? We still have a little bit of money in the bank. This kind of feels like our units keep on dying before they can really deal any damage. The Evolution Chamber does finish +1 melee up, but do we have any +1 unit? That's a good fight for the Ultras, guys. Finally, the Ultras get where they need to be, but we just don't have any support for them. GG gets called. It is Maru who ties things up. Strong push. And there you guys go. Like, it was looking promising for Reynor, but it still goes river. There's still so many scary things that Terran can throw at you. Fun series. You guys believed that Reynor was gonna live up to the hype of being the 1-1 man. And Reynor absolutely was the 1-1 man. Okay. Now this one, guys, is one that I feel pretty good about. Serral versus Ryang, best of 2. Serral 2-0, Ryang 2-0. 1-1 draw. Give you guys 10 minutes. Yeah, I think 1-1 against Maru is solid. Especially when we've got Yona with us today. And Showtime has been so freaking good lately. A win for us without going to an ace match would be fantastic. Getting 3 points will put us second in the standings, and also it would be just fun to keep our winning streak alive, eh? We started this season in a very, very bumpy way, 0-2. We lost to Starlight Twinkle, and then we lost to Dragon Kaisi Gaming back then, and now WBG. After that, we won 6 in a row. Sometimes with Yona, sometimes without Yona. Run-bys. Brett, non-stop run-bys. Reynor did fantastic with Zerglings, got on top of the SCVs in the third base a few times. And eventually we had Hive Tech, we had +2 melee Zerglings with Adreno Glands. And Maru had a lot of supply in the top left side, a lot of supply on the right side. And Reynor ran like 40 Zerglings on top of all 3 bases. Also indeed very, very solid and clean early game by Reynor. Maru built 5 Reapers and the man killed 1 drone. No creep tumor, 1 drone and 2 Zerglings.